Finds Adam Thielen, who fumbles, recovered by Marshawn Lattimore. Thielen not happy about his state of affairs. That would set up an Alvin Kamara touchdown, his second of the day. Second half, Cousins throws the brutal interception here. P.J. Williams takes it back for the pick six. Saints go on to win 30-20. They're now 6-1. Here is Drew Brees on the win.
I think it says a lot about the team. Obviously, we come into every game with a ton of confidence. I think we feel really confident going on the road. We feel like we're battle-tested. We feel like we've won in a lot of different ways, been in a lot of different types of games already. And obviously this one had a little extra special meaning. Just being able to come in and get a win here against a great opponent, in a very, very tough venue, and just knowing that these guys I think they're always going to be in the hunt.
All right, CC, how well are the Saints playing right now, especially coming off that win?
I mean, they're playing great football. As far as Drew Brees managing the game, doing what they had to do, now you're starting to see Dennis Allen get this defense turned around. They're very, very aggressive. Before the trade deadline, which comes up later on, trading for Eli Apple to give them some help on the back end. Their secondary really supported them, forcing 2 turnovers, the interception there, and then also the fumble they caused with Thielen earlier in the game. So now you're starting to see getting supported. They had a bad 2-3 quarters against Tampa Bay. Fitzy Magic caught them. And then since then, you have seen Drew Brees and this team doing whatever they have to do. Run the football. Drew Brees did not have the type of stat line you're going to say, wow, oh, man, he blew him away. Drew Brees. No, the football team won this game. Drew Brees helped them win the other 5, but this one right here, special teams and defense gets it done last night for the Saints.
Drew Brees threw for 120 yards. We've seen him do that in a quarter in the game, and they won comfortably. Remember last week when we talked about the Patriots-Bears game, and I said the Bears won basically every stat but lost because of special teams touchdowns allowed. In this game, the Vikings, they had more total yards. They were better on third down. They had fewer penalties. They had more time possession. They had more first downs. So why'd they lose? Man, those 2 turnovers were killer. One of them takes points off the board. The Thielen fumble, they're at least going to get 3. They might get 7. And up to that Thielen fumble, they had been dominating the football game. And so it's not only a fumble that takes points off the board, but it is returned deep into Minnesota territory.
Yeah, and the wide receivers have played great for Minnesota. They're passing attack, but they were responsible. Right there, Stephon Diggs, a shallow crossing man-to-man. You cannot stop. The quarterback will not know you're stopping. So Cousins throws it where Diggs is supposed to be. Pick 6 going the other way. Adam Thielen, they throw him a smoke route. You know the cornerback's going to be outside. If you decide to go inside, you know the heat and the smoke and the thunder is coming after you. So when you go in there, you're taking the risk yourself. And Thielen took that chance. They caused a fumble, critical turnover. If the Vikings get a touchdown there, they go up 20-10. They end up losing 30-20. So you're talking about huge turnaround, and it was created by the wide receivers of the Vikings. Poor decision-making by both of them.
All right, can you explain more on the Diggs play? Because Collinsworth mentioned on the broadcast, you've been harping the last few weeks that more than half of the interceptions in this league are not the quarterback's fault. They're the receiver's fault. I understand that Diggs can't stop. Why would he have stopped? What's going through his...
Freelancing. That's what you do. You start freelancing and think you know what's best compared to running out the play. It's man-to-man. What you're typically going to do is look at the defensive back and stair-step him across the field and stick it and run away. The quarterback, because he knows it's man-to-man, there is nothing that has told him that the guy is going to stop. So the communication is bad. One guy freelancing, and you could see after the play, Diggs talking to Cousins on the sideline, and you could see he was apologizing because that is one of the cardinal sins. Man-to-man, you must continue to run. You can't stop and sit down there.
So where does this leave the Vikings now after this loss?
And it leaves the Vikings in the most muddled division in football. First place, Chicago Bears, 4-3. Last place, Detroit Lions, 3-4. Teams in the middle both have a tie. There is no division like this right now. We don't talk much about the Lions, and they got beat badly by the Seahawks this weekend, but they're a game out. Like, they're one game out. Their only other division that's even close to the NFC North is the AFC South, where 2 games separate first to last. Like, where it leaves the Vikings is, I think we all know they're a good team, but much like I said about the Packers, you only get 16 of these chances, and so someone's going to come out of that division. I was very confident that division was going to have 2 playoff teams. I think now it's still likely they have 2 playoff teams, but it's far from a guarantee. And so the Bears...
You didn't have the Bears as one of them.
No, I absolutely didn't have the Bears as one of them.
But there's nothing the Bears are doing with Trubisky to make anyone in the division afraid. The Vikings are half game behind the Bears. I know they're not intimidated by what they're doing. Last night was a critical win. When you start looking at divisional winners at the end, that's why Drew Brees said in the press conference, it was a little extra special. Why? Because we probably won't have to come back here again. So Saints keep pace with what they want to do, trying to win that division with Carolina on the heels, and the NFC North, it's up for grabs.
And on the Saints side of things, 6-game winning streak, everything's all good. The critical win for them, if they lose, you know who they have next week, right? They have the Rams. Like, if we talk about the Panthers being 5-2. If the Saints lose, they're 5-2 with playing the Rams next week. So when you're talking about getting a bye, winning your division, maybe being the #1 overall seed, every single game is so wildly critical. Huge win for New Orleans.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, is Patrick Mahomes running away